and welcome to today's Hooray, it's Thursday. It's good to see everyone, and hopefully we're all happy and we're all ready for Christmas. I'm Courtney, I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Australia. Welcome to my channel. And if you're not subscribing to my YouTube channel already, please hit that subscribe button right now so that you don't miss anything. Okay, so so lots of things happening there. We're getting quite close to Christmas, only a couple of weeks away. If you haven't sent your Christmas cards out, you are so like me. And I've got a couple of cards that I want to show you today. Well, actually, I've got a card that I want to show you today. Today, I'm going to be doing a fancy fold, and it's a gift card holder. So I thought I'd show you the one I've made as a Christmas card, and then I will make it as a bloke card. Now, I don't know if you cottoned on to the hint. Excuse me. I'm on a live, and you'll just have to back out. I'm ignoring you. Well, then park there. Love you, bye. Okay, sorted the child out, we hopefully. And yeah, okay. So where was I? I'm going to show you how to do a quick and easy gift card holder. The designer series paper is really going to be the feature, and I'm going to showcase the brand new gears and textures. Now, you can't, it's a sneak peek, you can't get this one until January. Hi Glenda, how are you going? You can't get this beauty till January unless you are a demonstrator. So if you think you need this now before Christmas, then you are most welcome to join. All right, I'm just going to hit the go live button on Instagram. Gears and textures as a bundle, it's a $79 bundle, and I will swap you over to my desk photo. Okay, and that's it there. All right, so there is a stamp set, and there is a matching or very similar embossing, not embossing, die set. So I'll pull these out so that you can see them. They're really quite nice. Demonstrators get to order one. This is the first time I've pulled it out. This will be the first time I've used it. So they're quite big. They're great if you like grungy type backgrounds. And these are the dies. And these are going to be a lot of fun. All right. You'll see there's quite a lot of texture in there. There's some building ones that you can use, building dies that you can use, two dies at the same time, and you can create different things with them. Now, I didn't bring over any metallics when it comes to, or foils, so we'll have to wait, and you'll have to wait and see what I'm going to do with it. Now, I do have measurements for you, and I will stick them down with appropriate. I have bought over just one sheet of early espresso, but I also brought with me this pretty design series paper. Now, the design series paper you don't have to wait for. The same with the gems, or these are pearls of beauty. This is going to be a blokey card. Whoa, that's a bit fuzzy. So this paper is called Brushed with Beauty. Now, there is an A and a B side. Well, that's a bit fuzzy. Okay. Normally the plain is the B side, and when you get it, it will be, you'll see the pretty side. So it's very, very floral on the other side. I'm going to be working with B-side, which is why you're getting to see B-side today. So this one here is a pretty pink, swashy sort of thing. The colours in here, it tells us on the back. Actually, I've got it written up here as well, because there's more. If you look online, you'll actually find that there's more colours listed in the designer series paper. So, we've got Calypso Coral, Darling Duckling, Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Secret Sea, and Very Vanilla. So this one here is Petal Pink. And I'd be inclined to say this is a very washed out Early Espresso, which is why I pulled Early Espresso. This happens to be my favourite piece. Doesn't it look like camouflage sort of paper? And there we have a Calypso Coral piece. It's like splattered on paint. That one there is Misty Moonlight piece. All right. And we've got some spotty pieces. And we're just going to turn them all over so that you can see what is on the pretty side. So if you're into the florals, these are what you're going to get on your florals. See, our darling duckling is quite a feature here. Every piece has got early espresso on it, so you can have quite a bit of fun. All right. Okay, so I'll just turn them back over and I'm going to pull out the pieces we're going to use. First things first, Oliver's saying hello to my daughter that's now worked out her parking and she is home.
First up that driveway sucks.
Excuse me. Okay, thank you. You may keep walking. This is the card that I'm going to show you. All right.
Mum, please witness where I place your parcel.
Thank you. Oh, goody, a parcel. I'm very excited about my parcel. Okay, this is a gift card holder, and this is a Christmas one. And you'll notice I've just got an Australia Post little thing in there, and I do use that in there for a specific reason, which I'll show you. And it's just a single piece. Okay. Here is the measurements, if you would like them. I'll just put them up there so that we can actually, I'll put them on the other side because I'm going to cut it. All right. So I'm going to do an early espresso base. I put that over there. You can see it. All right. I didn't bring Very Vanilla in because I'm using the greens and the browns, because I'm going to use white because we've got white envelopes and I have a tendency to like the white envelopes. So for our flat, we've got a 21 centimeters, which happens to be this piece of the A4. So the shorter piece of the A4 is 21 centimeters. So I'm going to cut that first. So they're 21 centimeters by 9 centimeters. Okay, and this is our flat bit. All right. That one is going to get scored at 10.5 centimeters because half of 21 happens to be 10.5. Okay, so that's that piece. Then we need a piece that is 10.5 by 14.9. So what I'm going to do is, for ease of cutting the cardstock and not wasting as much, I'm going to continue on my A4, like it's just sliding it in. This piece here is 10.5 centimeters. This piece here is essentially our scrap. This piece is our scrap, but we can use that for cutting out gears and all that sort of stuff. So this piece here has to now be 14.9, which if we were cutting a piece of A4 in half, it would be, essentially it'd be a quarter of the sheet. But by cutting it this way, you end up with quite a bit of, like a decent size scraps, okay? All right. Now, so that's going to be our card base. And what you'll see is that the card does stand up if you were to send it to someone. It's a bit heavy with my, take out my gift card. And the card will stand up, okay? So you can still send it to someone if that's what you want for them to put on the mantelpiece, okay? So we need a piece of designer series paper. So for our designer series paper, we need, for the base, we're going to need a 10 by 14. And this is where you can have a bit of a play. Now, I think I really, really like this nice dark one. But I have a sneaking suspicion, and I brought the Mossy Meadow over with me, but I really think that that would look fabulous. Both of them would look fabulous, but I think I'll go with this piece. This happens to be the Misty Moonlight piece. So we need a piece that is 10 by 14.4. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it in half. Now, the reason why I'm cutting it in half is that just gives me two pieces that are 6 by 12, and then I can cut from here. All right, so this piece needs to be 10 centimeters. So we're going to go with 10 centimeters, and this will give you 3 pieces of this because it's 30 centimeters across. All right. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to have, this one here is going to be 15.4. So essentially I've taken off half a centimeter all the way around. Okay, and that is my card base there. Now, there is a little piece in here, so we want something that coordinates. This is where you could put if you were giving this to a lady, you could put some flowers if you wanted to, but I'm going to put some stripes. Again, I'm just going to cut it in half so that I can later get some card fronts out of it. This piece here is for the designer series paper for the inside, which is 8.5 by 5. So I'll cut this down to 5. No, I don't want to cut this down to 5 because actually this is where it becomes, because it's directional, I actually want the stripes to go up and down. So this is going to have to be cut at the 8.5. Okay, because I want my stripes to be going in that particular way by 5. So these pieces here are my scraps. And now I need some white cardstock. Okay, I've got some pre-cut panels, but I'm just going to chop them up. So for the piece on the inside, the white is 8.5 by 10. So we'll go with 8.5. And you know what? The piece on the front is exactly the same size. Okay, 8.5 by 10. And this one will be, gotta hold your tongue, 10 by 8.5. Okay, and that's your piece for the front. Now, I don't know if you remember, when you saw that stamp set, there's no sentiments in it. So I did bring over one of my favourite sentiment packets, which just so happens to be with you in mind. Yes, we used it last week. Hi, Laura, how you going? Yes, we used it last week, but that's okay because, like I said, it's my favourite. My team members that come call it my shouty stamp. But the happy birthday is quite fabulous, and it's huge, and it fits perfectly. Okay. Now, the other thing that I brought over with me is my embossing powders. Because I didn't bring any foils, and I think that a card like this, especially for the guys, needs some embossing powder. Okay, so I'm just going to, where that score is, I'm just going to burnish that very nicely there. Okay, and you can actually start putting this card together quite quickly, and it comes together very nicely. Okay, so if you don't want to use so much designer series paper, because we are going to hide quite a big chunk of it and you've only got some scraps, you can just use little pieces down the side. But for ease, I'm going to go with the whole piece. Okay. So just stick that on there. Got to hold your tongue in the right spot. Smooth that out. This piece is then going to sit on here. Now, use your guide on your grid mat, on your grid paper, whatever the case may be, so that you can get it in the middle. I mean, with glue, you get more than one go, but you can wiggle it a bit, but it is better if you get it on good the first time. So this here is about my middle. I'm literally just eyeballing it. Stand it up, make sure, tap it so that you can make sure that it's actually, what's the right word for it, going to adhere even at the top and even at the bottom. Okay, and these are our pieces to work with. All right, I might put some stamping on that and that, so I won't glue those in yet, so I'll just put them to the side. Okay, one's for the front, one's for the back. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. We've got some really fun gear shapes. Okay, we've got some really fun stamps. This one here, I think, will end up being my favourite. Don't lose these pieces. Remember, I showed you, if you haven't watched last week, you will see that I showed you how to stamp on the inside of your packet so that you know when you've got all your stamps. Let me just pull this guy out. I'm just going to give this a bit of a scrub over because it's brand new, just to get any of that oil from the, although it wouldn't matter on this because it is going to be quite grungy. Okay, so aren't they just fabulous? I'll show you what I'm going to do with them in a second. Okay, so let's do a little bit of grungy stamping, and I will need a piece of cardstock to stamp off. So I'm actually going to just use this piece of brown. Yeah, this is early espresso. Stamp off there. Whoopsie. Okay, so now we've got a grungy looking piece of paper. Okay, we can do other things with it, and we can make it so that we have got, there's little screws, there's little hashtaggy things, there's the little clippy things. There's quite a lot of different textures on here, and we'll bring in a different color to do it. Might use basic grey. Okay, add a little bit of texture, stamp it off if you need to. Okay, just making it up as we go along. I also brought over some pecan pie. The one colour that I didn't bring was the Misty Moonlight, but that's all right. So let's have a, I love chevrons. Does anyone else really like chevrons? Again, I'm stamping them off first. And this is one of those stamps that you can go the whole way across, and because you can line it up. Whoopsie. Advantage of it being see-through. You can line it up and you can just keep going all the way across. Okay? All right. So that is going to potentially be my front. I haven't decided yet. All right. So what I'll do is I'll do some similar sort of pieces on this inside piece. And you can do your envelope the same as well. Okay. All right. Okay, that's going to be my inside piece. Might add one of those little, I thought I was going to do basic grey, but I pulled over Mossy Meadow. That wasn't how it was supposed to work. But that's all right. The colours, actually, these colours go beautifully together, so it's all sweet. Okay. So what we do with the inside piece is now, because then I can have it sitting there holding together. So we're going to glue this piece in straight up, and that will end up all good. Please excuse the dog. He's going to yell at a child. Okay, now this is where, and if you don't have your card already, or you can put cash. This is just a really, really old prepaid Visa card. I always put it in there so that I know it's like it gives it a bit of give. How pretty is that going to look? And with this, you need to get really close to the edge with your glue. So just put a little bit of glue around that very edge. Okay, around the very edge there. the top part, if you've got a circle punch, you can punch a little circle in here and make it so that you've got a finger grabber, but you're not really going to need it. Okay, because it, and this will work with cash as well. Okay, so essentially I've put that in there, and the reason why I've done that is so that it gives it a bit of give for that pocket. But I will then hold it down with something just to make sure it sticks. Okay, and in this case I've put a stamp pad on it. So let's make a front piece. Now we've got the happy birthday out, and I think the happy birthday is quite fabulous. And I'm going to, I reckon copper would look quite nicely with this. What do you reckon? Okay. So what I'm going to do, it's a couple of things I'm going to do. So we're going to do some embossing. So I'm going to emboss the happy birthday onto here. I need a decent size block. Okay, and I've got my embossing buddy. So just rub over it with your embossing buddy. That just takes any static off, fingerprints, all that sort of stuff. And I've got my case with my embossing powder in it. So with your Versamark, just squeeze him and ink up your sentiment. Oh, make sure it's the right way up. And we're going to have that sort of sitting about there. Okay. Some ink on that. And what we'll do here is, this is from the metallics range. I'm just going to tip my embossing powder on there. That looks good. Woohoo. Bit excited. Okay. Bring over the heat tool. I'm sorry, not going to be able to hear me for a second. I'm just going to heat this up. You might get to see it do its magic. Because the top is actually quite nice at the minute. How glorious does that look? It comes up so fabulous, doesn't it? All right. Now, and that's going to go on the front there. Okay. So it's looking pretty good, yeah? Do you all agree? But what we want to do is, I don't have any foils. I don't have any foils to put on it. So, and I don't have any copper foils. So what am I going to do? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be using this stamp. I'll just clean it because I'm going to Versamark it. And I'm going to do something very similar, and I'm then going to cut out from here. So I'll just, and you want it on there, straight on there. You don't want to stamp this one off. And you'll notice that I didn't run my embossing buddy over, because it doesn't actually matter for what I'm doing now. So I want to make some foil embellishments. All right. So I've just got a piece of that is early espresso. It is now covered in Versamark, which you can actually see because of the way that early espresso takes on the color. Putting a whole heap of embossing powder all over it. And tapping off the excess. There is a little spot there for me to hold. put that to the side. And I put it a long way away from where I'm actually going to be doing the embossing, because the embosser comes with the heat actually flies around. It's got a blower on it. So this should actually also be easy to see as it heats it all up. Now I do have it on a tempered glass mat. Just a bit. I do have it on the tempered glass mat, and the glass mat is really good because you can emboss straight on it and it doesn't crack or do anything like that. Okay, so now I've got a very grungy piece of foil. All right, so I'm just going to ignore that phone call as well, because that's going to be another child complaining about the person sitting in the driveway. The person sitting in the driveway had no idea not to park there. Okay. All right, so I'll just bring this in. And I think that we need a piece of this one here. All right. And I'll have this one here. And because I can fit a few on here, see this one here, oh, that one's not going to fit, but if I pull these two out, it will. All right, those two probably need a piece of washi tape to hold them together. And then there is also this teeny weeny little one. Please be careful we don't lose this guy, okay? All right. Because you don't want to have to replace the whole set just to get that one. So I'll just take this piece of washi tape and join these two here together. Yep, there's another piece of washi tape. And we'll send them through. All of these dies would fit in the mini, okay? So that you could use them in that. Oh. And now we've got some pieces. I'll just stick them all back on here because I don't want to lose anybody. My very helpful puppy dog is having a lovely time here yelling at everyone. All right, there's that one. And we've got this one here. Let's take that one there out. That can go back in there. And so you've got all these little extra pieces as well. Okay. Say hello to everyone.
Hello.
I don't know. I know there's a lady in the driveway, and I'm sorry, but I had nothing to do with it.
There's a whole parking area.
I know there's a whole parking area. Even Auntie Lola will be sitting there going, "There's a whole parking area."
Why are they stopped in the driveway?
That's one thing
Anyway.
everybody loves here, is that there is always heaps of parking. If you come to any of my classes, there is heaps and heaps of parking.
That's cool.
It is cool, isn't it? Which bit? The fact that I've done that, or the fact that I've done?
No, none of it. Something else. It makes it like that. It's not all just solid. That it's like flecky.
Well, that,
You
Miss
know what I mean?
Eilish, yes, I do know exactly what you mean. Is a technique that I just showed everyone. So you'll have to go back and watch the video if you'd like to see what I did.
If I wasn't at work, I would have been watching the video.
Ah, okay.
I was busy.
So we've got all of our bits here. They do like to tease me, these girls. Far out, Brussels sprouts.
You started this. This is your fault.
Okay. So where is that mossy meadow gone? Because this is where my early espresso would have come in handy. Let's use our pecan pie. Okay. We've got rusty tools and stuff. Now, there is, you will notice in here, there's all of these. There's a Phillips head, plain head, and then there's this scratchy thing. there's also this gear. So I'm going to use this gear here, and I'm going to stamp a couple of those. Let's pop it on the back side of that, and I'm going to stamp them in over here. One of these over here in pecan pie, and potentially down here. Okay. All right. So let's stick this baby together. Okay. Didn't see that. All right, so I'm just going to stick this guy down. Now, there's a couple of things that I did with it. Depending on the size of your dies, depending on the size of your, if you're turning your dies into an embellishment, depending on the size of your embellishment will depend on where you put them. It will depend on where you put your sentiment, whoopsie. And if you're going to put some ribbon or twine or fibre of some description, where you're going to put that. This is where I'm going to take this out because I want that to stick down flat on the top now. Okay, and that having that in there did not help it, did not let it. Okay, so essentially I've built my card. All right, and now we've got these really cool gears that we can add to it. All right, so you can push them over the edge a little bit. And this one's got all these little holy bits in it as well. So I'll just poke all those out with the Take Your Pick tool. And I'm thinking I might put that on there because I just think that that will look good there, as you do. Oh, no, you know what? I found where it's going to look even better. Okay. So I'm going to put this on with a dimensional, if I can find them on my table. Here they are. So this stamp set, you guys can't get yet unless you're a demonstrator. If you would like this stamp set before January, this stamp and this die bundle, you will need to join. And that's okay. $169, and you can get $235 worth of product. And this can be part of it. Okay, just saying. If you're not sure how to do it, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help you. If you're unable to pick what other goodies you want, I'm more than happy to help you. It's always easy for me to spend other people's money. Don't you worry about that. All right. This one here. Okay, that came out of this inside of that. But I'm just going to stick it in there, I think. This one here was actually around this one. So you can stick this. Actually, that's where it's going to work best, I think. Yeah. So this one here teamed up with that, gives you that little cutout piece as an extra, but that's all right. So I'll just shove that under there. Okay, and where is my little, there is my little, it's like it. It's not a Phillips head one. It's, yeah, it's unusual. Maybe it is a Phillips head. Make sure I put the glue on the right side though. Get it on your tip of, hi Cheryl. Oh, hi Dimity. Yeah, this set is going to be great for mail cards. And like they're sometimes really difficult to make. I'm just trying to get a little tiny bit of glue on the tip of my glue here. Because I don't want a lot of glue because I don't want it to squelch out the side. Oh, look, if I put that, no, it's not going to, it's going to get hidden because of the way that the splatter is. Okay. There's the inside bit. If you wanted to put that on there as well, you can. Okay. And let's do that. All these little pieces, they're not going to work, but that's all right. The dot one will from the center of this one, but the other ones won't necessarily. Just hold my tongue right. Okay, I'm going to take your pick tool. See, there's the dot. You could put the dot anywhere you wanted. So you could actually stick it over the, oh, look at that. That makes that eye stand out, doesn't it? Let's stick it there. Two places you can put this glue this time. You can put it on the dot here. And you take your pick tool and then stick it on. or you could have put it straight on there. Now this bit in here, I think this bit works very nicely on the inside here. So to get this bit stuck down, if you want to, you can use a double-sided adhesive and you can put it on a piece on the back of your cardstock and use it. Or you can do what I'm doing, is just scrape your glue ever so gently over the top of it. Okay, that piece is going to go in there. So, and then what I do with my envelope is stamp it to match. And I've got it here. And I'll just get, where's that gear? All right, I'll just stamp the envelope to match. And a little bit of grunge over the top. I just stamped that off over there. Okay, so there's my matching envelope. And now I can slip a gift card into here for whoever's birthday it is, or some money, slip that into my card and send that off. Then when they get it, they can use their gift card or their cash, and they can stand that up. Oh yeah, better late than never, sure. They can stand that up on their mantelpiece, piano, whatever it is that they've got to stand their birthday cards on. So what started out as a way of giving gift cards for Christmas is there as a birthday one. Okay, and remember this set, you can only get it if you can get it now if you're a demonstrator. You can get it now as part of a joining kit, or you can wait until beautiful January. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining me today. I know it was a nice quick one today, but with Christmas coming, I know we're all Christmas crafting like mad people. I know that I am, and I hope that you all enjoyed that, and I hope that you all have a very great week. So I will see you next week, and we'll see what we're up to then. All right, reach out if you need anything, or if you would like more, like to know more things about joining, or how to get some pre-order items. All righty.